He noticed in the morning the birds stopped singing. Not in the real world, those were still loud enough, but inside of him, inside, the forest he'd carried since childhood had gone strangely quiet, like someone who had pressed pause on an entire universe. He sat in an open field, watching cars rush past, people moving with purpose, life happening in colors he could not feel. The breeze brushed his skin, but it carried no meaning. He used to love days like this. There was a time he had wings, bright ones, the kind that made people say, "Oh, that boy will go for her." And he believed them. He tried, he ran, and he kept running. Being the firstborn meant no one ever asked if he was tired. Strength was not a choice, it was a duty, even on days when strength felt like dust in his hands. Somewhere between responsibilities and expectations, between trying to make everyone proud and trying not to disappoint himself, something broke. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet crack, like a branch too dry to hold its own weight. And the forest thinned. He didn't even notice that first. He kept walking, kept smiling, kept chasing happiness like it was a prize hidden at the end of a long hallway. But the farther he ran, the farther they always stretched. Until one day, the boy looked into a life that had his name on it, but didn't feel like his. That morning in the open field, he felt it fully for the first time. He wasn't lost in the world, he was just lost in himself. A strange fear came with the realization, but also a small stubborn peace, the kind that whispers instead of shouts. And the whisper said, "Stop running." And so he did. For the first time in years, he simply sat, no pretending, no performing, no chasing, just breathing. It was only then he noticed the quiet truth, waiting patiently in the silence. Happiness wasn't something outside of him. It wasn't a trophy. It wasn't a race. It was a place he had abandoned while trying to win a life he hadn't even chosen. When he finally stood up, the forest didn't roar back to life. It didn't suddenly bloom, but one leaf turned green, one bird sang, one wing twitched. Healing seldom happens loudly. He walked home with a realization he would not forget. You don't find joy by outrunning yourself. You don't get old by breaking. You return to yourself by remembering you were never meant to disappear. And that was enough for the forest to begin growing again.